Do you want to like quickly tell the audience what consulting is in general? Because I feel like most people like don't know what consulting is and what consultants do.
Sure. So to answer the first question, I think consulting, there are a lot of types of consulting. Bain and Company, McKinsey, BCG, and even, the Big Four tend to do strategy and management consulting, which is basically we work with corporate clients and people who work in the industry. For example, let me take like a retailer, like we'll work with like a Macy's, right? And we'll try and solve a problem that they have. That's the broadest way to put it. So they'll come with a business problem. For example, well, we aren't getting enough people coming to our store, or certain sections are not selling enough, or we want to start this new category. How do we go about it? Or we are not saving enough money, we want to like cut our costs basically. How do we do that? So broadly we solve a problem like that for them. So our engagements are maybe 3 to 6 months, and like a team will go from like analysts and associate consultants, people of my level, to like senior partners who basically come in and just do the thinking and strategizing part of it. Well, whereas we will look at their financials and their data and do the analysis, crunch the data, give the answer. It's a large set of people, usually very, very smart people, who are working to solve this problem that people and clients especially perhaps don't have the time or the resources or the bandwidth really to focus on. So it's like a differentially important thing for them, but they don't have the internal capability or time perhaps to look at it. So they hire people to come in and solve that for them. In terms of my daily life, I think mostly I think days are spent, sometimes at the client side, sometimes with my own office. It's a very involved profession, so you're perpetually working with your team or with the client, solving something. So you could be working on an Excel and you're really cleaning up data, you're looking through revenue stats or something like that. There's a lot of research involved. So for example, maybe like the Macy's example, you'd want to look at, okay, what do competitors, what are they doing, or what did this company in another country do, etc. So there's a lot of like that secondary research kind of an element to it. Sometimes we're even doing calls with like industry experts to understand nuances. And there's a lot of slide making and making like insights look beautiful and presentable, and coming up with a story for it, because even clients, they have limited attention spans, so you have time to kind of capture their attention and do the right presentation. So yeah, that's kind of how your day looks like. It's usually a very long day doing a bunch of various tidbits of these, but that's a rough kind of structure. Like you are expected, see, the person sitting in front of you as a client has possibly worked in this industry for 25-30 years, because they will typically be very senior people who you will see as in your sort of interactions, right? And you have come to this industry last week, and you are trying to ramp up on all of the stuff that they know already, plus you're trying to wow them with something that you only have come up with. So it's a hard job in terms of there is a lot consolidate and learn very quickly, and therefore I'm saying the learning curve is steep and extremely rewarding, because if you're ultimately coming up with something that's going to wow somebody 30 years into this space, you obviously have done a lot of learning along.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, do you think like it's like stuff like you learned at Ashoka is like applicable at Bain and Company and like a day-to-day job?
Very often, yes, and I think I've also been surprised by it. I've done some projects, like I said, a social impact here. I entered that particular piece not knowing that what they were doing on that problem statement, and suddenly I'm hearing the manager say something about we're applying social learning here, and we're going to find. So it was basically attempting to work with. I don't know how much you folks are familiar with sort of the problem in Punjab with stubble burning, essentially in India, where basically after they cut the crop, they burn the stubble because they want to sow the next harvest very quickly, and that leads to smog in Delhi. So there's just a lot of pollution and air pollution caused because of it. So this player was trying to work with farmers. And one of the things we were talking about, we have to do social learning. We have to find an influencer farmer who has to then spread that information and disseminate it in various things. And the characteristics of this influencer farmer are X, Y, and Z. And they were looking at a psychology research report on how influence works and what people find attractive in a person who has to market to them. Do they have to be similar to that person or very different, and things like that? So I was like, hey, listen, like, hello, this is like my complete, like, this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
So this really
things.
cool one. And I'd actually gone down to Punjab and actually worked and talked to those people. Okay, why are you not adopting this practice or that practice? And who would, if this person spoke to you, do you think it would make a difference, etc.? So that was fascinating. And this was maybe like an off case where actually they were using only psychology papers, but I mean my current project and the first one I ever did was with retailers. There it's applicable exactly like how I told you about the supermarket example from when I was a kid, right? Like these there's a book by Daniel Kahneman called Thinking Fast and Slow, and that's about basically sometimes some parts of our brain are wired to think very quickly and we make decisions like this, and there are other parts of our brain that do math and do that read between the lines and thinks. And retailers need to target both, but very often we think from our system one, which is we think very quickly. So pricing, for example, you're seeing something or reacting to it, you're making a purchase or you're not. So there are these kind of things that really play up, and perhaps everyone's not talking about it in that manner, but I feel like I have a unique edge in that manner that I at least feel very attracted to consumer research and talking to people and understanding what motivates them, because I link it back to, hey, listen, I studied this, my brain works in that manner. Perhaps it's not the conventional way of thinking, but I do think it adds that unique spike of, hey, I like consumers and I like thinking about how they think.
Yeah. I think that's really good. It's always nice to like actually apply like stuff that one you're interested in and stuff that you learned about, in work and stuff. I think,
Comparing it to an IITian friend of mine who was working on a semiconductors case, we were talking about, okay, how she learned about semiconductors and I learned about people, and we both are managing somehow to use it. So that it's the beauty of like consulting for how wide the spectrum is in terms of what is relevant. We even have doctors, by the way, at Bain who work in the healthcare practice. So it's actually like a very varied set of people.